And welcome to our show, Geeks Wired Podcast, where we talk about video games, movies, TV, comic books, technology, and TLDR, the Internet of the Things. I'm your host, Bill, and we have the other host, Anthony.
Hello.
And you can contact us at geeksarwired@gmail.com by sending us an email, or you can text us or send us a voicemail at 801-896-GEEK. Also, 801-896-4335. You also can help support us at our Patreon at patreon.com/geekswired. And our very first fun stuff we're going to get into is Google Podcast is less annoying to me right now.
Different vein, before I forget, can you open up a new tab and just type Apple Fitness? And
Okay.
then we can go back. We can go to it later because I just don't want to forget. Okay, so why is it less annoying to you, Google Podcasts?
Because now you can put in your ad shows by RSS feeds.
You couldn't do that before?
No, remember, that's why I tried. I really did try to get into Google Podcasts for a bit, but I have Patreon support that I do, and Patreon gives you unique RSS numbers or feed numbers for you being a supporter. So you cannot listen to those podcasts or you couldn't before on Google Podcasts.
But now you can.
Yes.
I forgot Google Podcasts was a thing, to be honest.
Well, they're actually growing. They're still ridiculously small, but they're one of those that I think they're actually in the single-digit percentages at least.
And I'm actually surprised they haven't rolled this into YouTube Music. Because every other music thing has done that. Added in podcasts.
At least they did this, and because you used to be able to get podcasts on Google Music.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, I wasn't really bagging on them not for combining them, because I think it's... I don't know. My annoyance with that is I clicked on something on Spotify because I wanted to listen to something weird, or not weird, but something new. It was like some kind of radio station.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was like just a radio station with songs. And it was for the first song. And then after that, because I got in the shower, and it started playing ads. And I was like, why is Spotify giving me ads? Turned out I think it was part of a podcast. Yeah. And I clicked into that apparently. Like, it had to deal with the artist that I wanted to listen to, but still I was not happy. So, yeah, that was an annoying thing from Spotify. But other than that, yeah. So is that the only thing that makes it less annoying?
That's the current thing that makes it less annoying.
What else are you annoyed with? Do you use it as your podcast player?
I have tried.
Oh.
Because it was like, because it integrates well with the assistant and all that. And then also Google ends up blocking out a lot of the stuff. So all you can really tell with the assistant to just play is Google Podcasts and Spotify, I think. It might be, it's either Spotify or Stitcher.
I think I would probably say Spotify. Because they have podcasts pretty well built into it. You can even because back when people used to commute, they still have this, but it's called a daily drive station, and I think it has some news mixed in, and you can put in some podcasts if you want. I think I'm pretty sure it's customizable. Maybe it's not. I don't know. I haven't really looked at it that much because I don't drive to work.
Oh. I can't find it off quickly. It's one of those too. And that's why I was saying, I don't feel like Stitcher's actually on the list because both Spotify and Stitcher have been growing in bounds to get the podcast going.
Yeah, I know they have. I'm not sure what Pandora is doing. I know they have podcasts, but...
Yeah.
And I still pay for them even though I only listen to it once a month.
Oh, and actually, with YouTube Music, you can listen to podcasts.
If they're on a YouTube channel.
Exactly.
Which, to be fair, most of them are, but, well...
And more than likely, it's not through
ones.
music. It's probably through YouTube itself.
Yeah, but you can usually probably find it through YouTube Music. And if you can't, you could add it to a feed or playlist and then listen to it that way.
Or you
that's
can,
what I do.
the small ones have YouTube channels too.
Okay, what I was meaning by that is it would be more common for the bigger ones to have it. Because they would usually include some kind of, well, I'm not going to say usually. They might include some animations with it.
Sometimes
or
not.
they'll put like, edit it and put in some, whatever they were talking about on screen.
Yeah.
Which would be pretty useful actually in a lot of cases.
Well, if depending on podcasts, you can do that with MP4s. So it moves along.
You can.
Which that's all.
But it's harder to get into sometimes. Like, as much as I like Apple's podcast player, in navigating it is kind of annoying.
That's why there's better podcast players than Apple's. That's why Apple's losing so much percentage.
I like it because it's integrated pretty well, and like it's integrated with my watch pretty well.
Yeah.
If I decided to go to the gym again and start listening to podcasts that way and not take my phone, which would be pretty nice, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is an annoyance because maybe it's just I don't listen to podcasts enough, so I'm still not used to how to get around the UI, but I always feel like it's a chore. It doesn't look ugly. It's pretty, but the UX is probably could be better.
Yeah, it's all the time. And they've been the leader with 99% of the podcast listening market for so long.
Yeah, they probably, I don't know. Sometimes you just don't change it if it's not broken.
True.
I would argue they probably need to change it a little bit, and they might in a couple of years because they do that in spurts.
Mm-hmm.
They work on something and then leave it be. I wish they would work on their notifications again. I wish I could control them a little more because opening my phone to go do something and then not seeing that I have messages in my text messages until I go to my home screen and see a bubble there because I accidentally cleared it away whenever I opened up. I didn't clear it away. I just opened up my phone and did something else and locked it. I would like there to be a way to pin messages, or not messages, but pin certain types of notifications so they always show up. And I know you can do that with you can have them just show up in the history, and they won't even show up on your phone at all unless you scroll up a little bit to see them. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about whether you unlock it or not, as long as you haven't looked at it, opened the app to actually see it or cleared it away, it'll show up still. That was a tangent.
You know what could help that, right?
What?
Switch to Android.
I can't. I really can't.
It's all right.
Not at this point, because I still there's still not a fitness watch that I like from Android, and I'm in the ecosystem.
Yeah. No, I'll admit, Apple makes the best smartwatch. They make the best tablets.
And I'm actually thinking of going to their assistants now, too. Because Amazon's made me mad.
Yeah.
And Google is also making me mad because I keep having to say its name 3 or 4 times before it'll notice me. Which, if it were just a simple consonant Amazon's and... Okay, Amazon's is too, but it's easy to say.
Yeah.
Whereas, and Apple's is also easy to say. Whereas Google's a bunch of... what are those letters called? They're... I think I said it earlier, consonants. There's just so many put together there.
Yeah.
Where if you have to enunciate a lot, and it's... I'm not going to say it's hard, but it's annoying when you have to do it multiple times. At least it is for me.
You have to learn to enunciate and speak
I can enunciate.
And loudly.
I sing. And when you sing, T's and S's go away if you're not careful. And so I know how to enunciate. Because I just did it there.
Yeah.
But that's not the problem. It's and for a while I was able to put A instead of hey in the front. And that was working for a while, but it's not anymore.
They updated, so not allowed.
Yeah, so I'm probably going to go to the Apple Assistant just because their mini is, you probably want to put this, well, I don't know, it's common enough. The HomePod mini is $100 now, and the Google Audio thing they have is $100 now, which I think replaced their old Google Home. Because they don't sell those anymore, the tower ones, apparently. Well, I knew they didn't, but like the original one that they came out with, they don't sell them anymore. So I think that's the replacement.
Yeah.
And apparently the audio is pretty good, but it's not the audio that I'm upset with. So, and since they're the same price, I may as well just try out something else. And I think if the internet goes down, it'll still run certain, it'll still do certain commands still.
Local commands.
Yeah, because I think it's smart enough to do text translation or speech translation to text, but maybe I'm wrong. I thought that was a thing, but it could not be.
Well, we brought up Apple.
Yeah.
Just go to your Apple Fitness that you wanted to do.
I don't know why I wanted to talk about this, to be honest. I just saw it in my feed this morning. I think they...
Coming on the 14th.
Oh, okay. That's why I saw it on my feed. I'm considering doing this. Maybe. It might be kind of cool. And I think you get a free trial, so it might be fun to try out at least. Because it would at least allow me... Nice.
I know. It's not the same.
It would at least allow me to, get some kind of fitness in since I don't go to the gym right now.
Yeah.
Because of reasons. Because that's one of the hot spots for... Do you care if we talk about it or not? Because the last two we didn't care. Current world events.
Oh, yeah. I'm thinking I'm not going to care right now.
So because of COVID, I don't want to go to a gym because that's a hot spot for infection spreading. So I don't want to risk it, really. I'd rather not deal with it if I can avoid it. Because there's, research still has to be done, but there's pretty good indications that there's some pretty serious long-term side effects. Some of them might be heart-related. There's definitely lung-related stuff.
Oh, don't forget the libido.
Oh, I didn't know that was a thing either.
That was one that's apparently being researched in March and is actually coming back around. It's being researched, so yeah. You might just lose your ability for your tallywhacker to work.
Okay, okay. Maybe it's different than what I'm thinking. I know what you're talking about, but I feel like, because, what is that? I don't remember what the medicine's called, but...
Viagra?
Yeah. Isn't that just helps the process? The libido, I think, is still...
Okay, half your testosterone goes away. Let's go with that.
Oh. So that's not just, libido. That's also, health consequences, too.
There could be some other stuff with that, too, yeah.
Because, if males don't have a lot of testosterone, they start having other weird stuff happen, well, I guess you have to also have estrogen in your blood, too, but... there's just a lot of stuff that goes wrong. But there's also, I don't know, testosterone's also kind of hard on the body.
It can be.
So it might be a good thing in a
but
way.
It also means that it might make it where you can't get it up without additional meds or without doing certain things to your body or...
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. So, but yeah, Apple Fitness, I don't remember how much it is, but... I think people were comparing it to, okay, so it's $9.99 a month or $80 a year. Well, I'll just say 80. I'm making it go up a cent, but I think they were considering it to what a Peloton membership would cost. Maybe. Because I'm pretty sure it's half the price. Well, maybe I'm wrong though, but Peloton also has the upfront bike cost, so...
Yeah, it depends on what you end up getting into. You don't need to get the bike to have the membership or the treadmill or the other stuff. You can actually get I
guess they would have more than just the bike.
Yeah, they've actually been expanding quite a bit.
Makes sense. I mean, everybody who's bought a Peloton's probably...
I think there was Row Machine they were talking about. And it is... but that was a little bit. I think there was a TRX-like thing.
TRX?
Or it's kind of like the Bowflex.
Okay, that's okay.
It's kind of like the Bowflex. I shouldn't say it's not a TRX, but the TRX actually might be more with the mirror one, which is a different company, and I forget which one it is. But yes, so you can get the bike, you can get the treadmill, or you can just do
your treadmill?
their treadmill.
Because I know the bike is absurdly expensive.
So the bike is $1,900 right now. $50 a month.
For how many months?
It doesn't really go into those details.
I could do the math, but... Yeah.
Well, the treadmill, they actually do it the opposite way. They go, it is $111 a month for 39 months.
You know why they do that, right?
Because it's so much more.
Yeah, that's the same thing they do with cars. Like on car commercials. They don't do this on the lot, but on car commercials, a lot of times they'll be like, you can lease it for as low as like $199 a month. Yeah. Which I guess for leasing, that makes sense because you don't really care about the end price as much, really, because you're not going to keep the car. But if you're buying it, then you kind of care more. Bring out a calculator, Bill. I want to know.
I was just going to click on the things.
Oh, so that might help. No, it doesn't help.
Well, I just went to the treadmill to see if it was going to actually like...
Oh,
there it is.
Might.
It's at the top. $4,295 or $111 a month for 39 months at 0% APR. I'll admit, it's a nice treadmill.
It better be a nice treadmill.
Don't you think it's a nice treadmill? And plus, you can get off the treadmill and do stuff otherwise.
Yeah, I don't know why they have that in their marketing. That's just weird to me.
Yeah.
Oh, this is just for everything. Nope, never mind. It's for treadmill.
Yeah, this is just treadmill. The bike is... There's a couple of bikes. There's actually a couple of treadmills. So that's why...
Oh, you can get a cheaper one.
You can. You can spend $64 on the cheaper treadmill.
A month.
Probably for the same amount. It is their new model.
Oh, they do. Like, they have a view pricing button on that one instead of shop.
Well, you have to click on it and still have to go to it.
Yeah, that's kind of annoying. Still a lot.
So you can spend as little as $2,500 on a treadmill or as much as $3,065.
Still a lot.
Yeah. It can be up there. But yeah. See. And the bikes are 8. Let's see. It's still... Oh, yeah, we were looking at how many months. That's what it was.
Oh, yeah.
The math.
The numbers. What do they mean? Fine, I'll get a calculator out.
Yeah, I don't really care about pulling out the calculator.
Well, I gotta know now. So
39 months. $49 a month. Or
I think we knew that already.
I think it was it's the exact same as the treadmill. And that's based on the full price of the $1,800 or the $1,900 one. Plus the cost. That's the other thing. Plus the cost of the Peloton All Access membership, which is an additional $40 a month.
A month?
A month.
Holy crap. And I know someone who has a Peloton bike and I think the membership.
Well, there you go.
And I don't know how she really likes biking, so that makes sense. But
everyone's got a hobby.
I mean, yeah, they got a hobby. And she does enjoy it. She actually wakes up at like 5 to do races every once in a while. Like virtual races.
Yeah. Actually, I know somebody who would probably...
And she gets really excited.
And you would probably know the same person who, if they're not running outside, they would probably be doing the Peloton treadmill. But they really like running outside. The person that just like would literally run in the middle of winter outside.
I don't know who this is.
I don't know if you saw the post about the coronavirus virtual medal or virtual race.
Nope.
They ended up posting. Oh, maybe we'll talk about them later.
What, on Facebook?
Yeah.
I don't get on Facebook.
I know. Not anymore. This has been a long time.
Oh, okay.
This is early pandemic.
Oh.
Back when there was a coronavirus virtual race.
I mean, there still are some, but...
Well, back on this one. Virtual strides.
Yeah. Virtual strides.
I think I might have the membership for that.
You do.
Okay.
Because I was considering on getting it, and you just flat out got it.
Yeah.
And now I'm glad I didn't get it, because we haven't done it anymore.
I just haven't gone back. Honestly, I probably should do stuff. I need to deal with my Spartan one.
Okay, fitness related. So that Halo thing I got from Amazon.
Oh, yeah.
If you guys get one and you decide you hate it, keep in mind that they don't let you, at least when I looked like a week ago, they will not let you cancel from the app. You have to call them. And I'm very annoyed at that, like more so than ever before.
So actually, one, I got approved. I saw the email.
Yeah.
I clicked into it. I thought about it, and then I deleted the email.
Okay, good.
Yeah. On the other side, did you cancel your membership finally?
No.
You need to set yourself a reminder, or do it after the podcast and try to do the automated.
No, I'll just wait till they charge my card, and then I forget to look, and it just stays there. No, I'll cancel it.
That's why you use your assistant.
Which one?
Pick one, any of them.
Actually, I could do my Apple Assistant.
Just tell them to remind you.
Yeah, I can tell it to remind me. One thing I do that is annoying, though, is that the new iOS, there's a bunch of privacy stuff on there.
Yeah.
And so if, like, before I could just tell it, like, hey, when I get home, remind me to do such and such and such. It'll still do that, but I have to give it access to location.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but I can't find out how to turn it on. Like, I looked in the place where it was supposed to be. The reminders app wasn't there, so. Anyways. I have a lot of small rants today. I guess this is normal, actually.
Meh.
Okay, I don't remember what you were going on about before. It was fitness related. Oh, Spartan.
Oh, Spartan. We have till the end of the year to sign up for the next Spartan next year.
Oh, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, we still have those codes because Spartans were canceled this year. So
I totally forgot. I'm not going to be prepared, so I probably won't do it. And I'm not out any money anyways, so. Well, I am actually a little bit.
Didn't I get you to spend what was it, $12, $20? Something like that?
So I got it for free from my sweat coin, I think.
I thought you still had to spend
I might have had to spend a little bit of money, but I think I also splurged to get an engraved medal.
Yeah. Which
I can't get if I don't participate.
We should do it. You and everyone else that signed up, we need to get us all together. We were going to go as a team.
We were. And then I decided to be lazy.
Meh.
And then they didn't do it anyways this year. But they waited a long time to cancel it.
They kind of did. I was a little stressing about it. Actually, I was because I was more stressing about going I don't think I want to be around that many people.
Oh, yeah. No, I wouldn't have done it anyways.
I think I'm going to aim for a November run.
Not anymore.
No. November 2021.
Oh, you think it'll be done by then?
Or at least I can get my money back again.
I think we're in this for the long haul, man.
Yeah.
The vaccine might be out by then. No, it might actually be out.
The vaccine's out.
Yes, but
not in this country.
Are you talking about the Russian one?
No, I'm talking about the British one.
Oh, there's a British one?
Yeah.
I haven't been paying attention.
They have already given it, the first lady, it was a nice little old lady. She was the first person to get the vaccine. She was all over the news.
It has some pretty bad side effects, though, doesn't it?
Like soreness where the needle sticks you, and
I thought it was worse than that.
No, it is not.
So it's
bad.
it's like the flu shot then.
It is actually better than the flu shot.
No.
Yeah, this doesn't have problems.
Maybe it was another vaccine that had problems.
Could have been.
Because there were some trial runs that were done in the U.S. and a couple of people who got it had terrible side effects. They're not terrible. It's better than getting it.
Yeah.
And I don't think there are any long-term effects, but you basically were down. I think it was basically you got a normal flu.
Ooh.
Or maybe not that bad, but you were achy and crappy for 2 weeks. Which they were saying it was still worth it. Which, yeah, I'd probably agree. Assuming I didn't get it in the very beginning of this year. Because about a week before everything... No, it was 2 weeks. 2 or 3 weeks before everybody got sent home. Across the nation. I got super sick, and then I wasn't really okay for about 2 weeks after getting sick. Mm-hmm. And then a week later, actually, I stayed home for that week and worked. And then the next, that Monday afterward, we all got sent home. So, yeah, I might have had it. It wouldn't surprise me if I did.
I haven't been
It was
tested.
bad. No, I haven't been tested either. I got my blood work done, and I didn't have them see if I had antibodies. I should have. Didn't think about it.
You also can donate blood, and they'll check.
Yeah, I don't want to donate blood, though.
Why? It's good. It's good
I know
people.
it's good, but I don't like needles.
Oh.
And that needle would be in there for a long time.
No, it's in there for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, I can't do.
Maybe 5?
I can't deal with 30 seconds.
Oh, see, I've donated plasma.
No, I
That
can't.
needle's in there for like 2 hours.
I can't do it. Like when
Just
I got that
imagine
blood
thing,
work.
you get to watch a movie, and then you get to start the next movie,
No.
and then you finally get to leave.
No. In fact, every time I get my blood work done, like one of the times they couldn't get the needle in so much because I think I was super dehydrated. They had to use a smaller one.
Yeah.
And so it took like 3 times as long to get the blood out, and I hated every second of it. And I had to ask them for because they don't have any stress balls for some reason where I get my blood work drawn at. So I had to ask them for that tape that they put around your arm, and I just have to squeeze that because otherwise, yeah, it's not great. That was my phone, my watch.
Oh.
I forgot to mute it.
I was like, was that the doorbell? I don't normally hear the doorbell.
Technically, it does sound like a doorbell. You're
Yeah.
not wrong. What was that for anyways?
Cancel your membership.
No, that was my Breathe app telling me I need to breathe to de-stress.
This podcast stresses you out, Anthony.
No, it actually has nothing. I think they're random when they come on.
Ah,
Because I did look that up. And as far as people can tell, it's just random.
okay.
But, yeah. Lots of fitness stuff. Oh, you want to talk about that?
Do you want to stay in fitness, or you want to go to Apple?
Do you have any
So-
other fitness stuff?
Off the top of my head, no.
I do kind of want to talk about that bottom one. We can do that next.
Okay. Well, we're gonna go to
'Cause
Apple,
I
and we'll
saw
go back
that.
to Google
I did see that in my...
on the
No.
interwebs.
I saw it, and I'll talk about it later. So Apple is apparently working on a 32-core processor for higher-end Macs, and I'm sure there's a 16-core one too in the works, and an 8-core one. They technically have an 8-core one now, but I think they're considering the high-performance cores the actual count, because the low-performance ones you can't really count them as cores. Like
Mhm.
you can, but
They're like the virtual
it's
cores.
not. Well, they're not. I would probably consider them similar to the logical cores that, so CPUs now, they're usually dual core, and then they're hyper-threaded, so they act like 4 cores.
Mhm.
So I would probably, and then those 2 extra cores are logical cores, just to explain myself there. But I might consider them logical cores, but only in the sense that I think there's no other way to do it. Distinguish them, because they're low performance because they're low power.
Yeah.
And I don't know exactly what they're designed for. It might be just for general purpose use, but
Yeah.
it might be like they're neural cores and they have a specific use for them. I don't know. But the Mac Pro might get this, or they might get one that's even higher count. I haven't read too much into these, but I'm not surprised that they'd be working on something like this.
So apparently there's talk about this about a month ago. Like when they were rolling out the new Macs, there was already talk
Oh yeah.
that this stuff was already, the jumps were getting ready to come out. So these are probably going to not come out till late 2021.
Maybe. Whenever they do, because I think they're going to do another round of releases in spring. They're thinking it'll either be an M2 or an M1X, and that will go in like the bigger MacBook Pro, and it might start getting an iMacs, like inside iMacs. So it's not really showing up on the feed.
Yeah.
So it's probably fine. Anyways, there's some audio noise there. More audio noise.
Because we're talking. That's why.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Again, I haven't looked into this that much because I don't really care. Like when I heard about it, I was like, I probably should have waited to buy mine. But at the same time, I knew this. And I only got it because, one, I needed a new laptop anyways. And I thought the performance gains and the battery life were justified the fact that this is the first generation.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's not terrible, like performance is really good. Like it runs Windows 10 for ARM better than a Surface Pro X does. When it's virtualized,
Yeah.
mind you, is actually I'll mute it now. Fine.
You need to relax, Anthony.
No, that was a notification from a
Oh,
messaging app.
that was cancel your membership.
No, that was Signal. It's a messaging app.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. So even though I was kind of bummed out about it, it's also like it was. I was literally bummed out about it for about 30 seconds, maybe.
Well, don't worry.
Because I rationalized it.
So by in late 2021 or 2022, you could always get the 128 core ones.
Maybe. No, I honestly don't think they'll.
You don't think they're going to go that high that fast?
I don't think they will for general purpose cores. I could see it for the more specialized stuff, like for the neural cores, or especially the GPU cores, because I think they only have 8 right now, and that's quite frankly like they do good work with it, but it could be a lot higher and way better. But I think they'll also start allowing external eGPUs at some point, especially for the Mac Pro. So the embedded GPU might not be that big of a deal, but because right now you can't use, like on normal Mac, like Intel Macs, you can use eGPUs, which is you basically hook up a GPU, like you put it inside of a dock and then you connect it through Thunderbolt, and you don't get like the full performance of that card. I think you do if you're not doing if you're doing stuff that uses the video cores to like render stuff, but not like render a game, I think you get basically most of the performance. But if you're trying to render a game, you don't get the full performance.
I see.
Because it's a lot of bandwidth.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I could see them doing more not general purpose ones, doing a lot of like specific purpose cores, or a lot of different specific purpose cores. Like they might have like 32 neural cores or whatever, 16 graphics cores, 16 general purpose cores, maybe 8 to 16 high performance cores. I think I didn't say that one yet. I could see them doing stuff like that, or even having one. Maybe there's a chip they design that's super good at doing audio translation or something. I don't know.
Yeah. It's all sorts of things that this could be good for.
I am excited though, regardless, because this puts this is a pretty big step as far as like mobile performance goes, and just like CPUs in general, because for a long time, in order to get a lot of good performance, you had to basically dump a lot of power into it, which in turn made heat. And I think the only way to get better at that was to make the nano process smaller.
Yeah.
Because some are down to like 5 or 7 nanometers. And that's I think that's the distance between each individual capacitor. And I think that's the only way to get the power requirements down. But then you end up there's just a lot of heat and stuff, and they're able to get a lot of performance without a whole lot of heat or power being used, or heat being generated and power being used. So, and ARM, this is because it's ARM, and ARM's always been good at that. It's just their performance wasn't super great. Not without, but cooling's gotten better, and so.
Yeah. I'll admit your laptop's going to be quieter than mine.
Well, so when they were doing the benchmarks on the Pro, the fan barely turned on. And when it did, it was because it was basically ramped up all the way, and you could barely hear it.
Nice.
Which is that was one of the reasons why I bought it. It has the fan if it needs it, but it won't really need it probably for the stuff I'm doing, or if it does, it'll barely be needed. And then I'll have to actually use a heater in my office. And I can, not have to open up the window in the middle of winter because it gets so hot. Because my AMD Ryzen's it's a space heater. Yeah. It'll get 80 degrees in my room, which is fine if it wasn't so dry. Because, heat dries the air out. And
also is the cold.
It does, but so I have to use a humidifier. You have anything to say on this?
No.
Okay.
It's just cool.
It is cool.
I'll look forward to my next generation iPad having 256 cores.
Well, they're thinking the next iPad Pro might have M1 or an M series processor, because it's still Apple Silicon what they're using. Like, actually, all the iDevices have been Apple Silicon for quite a while now.
Yeah.
It would just be maybe better, and maybe they might start allowing. I doubt they ever will, but they might start allowing macOS to be installed on it. I doubt it, but be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Or maybe it'll start unlocking it, like letting. No, I'm not going to say that. It's never going to happen.
Yeah.
For a lot of reasons, some of them good, some of them not so good. But
though, speaking of companies making new operating systems,
ooh, look at that segue.
that people don't understand why or what the purpose is, and they've been talking about it for 5 years now.
Yeah, so I forgot this was a thing.
Yeah, so did everybody
Fushsia.
else. Google's new OS, Fushsia.
And I think that, yeah, like you said, they started working on this a long time ago, and I was confused because they had their Chrome OS, and I wasn't sure why they were working on this.
That is the other stuff that everyone was all like, well, so is this Chromium? Is this Chrome? Is this... It's not Linux-based. Let's go with that.
Yeah, it's not.
It's it uses a microkernel called Zircon.
Is it Zircon or Zycron?
I'm going to go
Zarcon. Zarcon. Just because I feel like that sounds like a TV character, villain kind of thing. So it's fun to me.
Okay.
So what's a microkernel?
Good question. It's not Linux.
Is it Unix then? Because no, they're not quite the same. Linux is Unix, but Unix is not Unix. Unix is not Linux.
Okay, so most OSs are based off of Unix in some way, shape, or form, including Linux, but they have simplified it.
And I think Microsoft to a point too.
Oh, like I said, most. I'm talking Mac, Windows.
Oh, Mac for
Linux.
sure.
Yeah, all of them are. Unix is the ultimate father of these operating systems.
Mm-hmm. And Android.
Well, it's Linux based, so
Yeah.
of course it is.
Actually, I don't know if Mac OS Big Sur is Unix anymore. I know the oldest stuff was Mac OS 10, but yeah, I want to know what this microkernel is. Because microkernel doesn't... It just means it's small. That's not a very good descriptor, and I'm kind of annoyed at them using that. Because microkernels go on stuff like routers and stuff. Because they don't need the whole kernel. Like, that's all that means.
So in computer science, a microkernel is the near minimum amount of software that can provide the mechanism needed to implement an operating system. These mechanisms include low-level address space management, thread management, and inter-process communication.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like, microkernel just means it's a smaller kernel. Doesn't mean it's not Unix-based still. I'll believe them when they say it's not based off Linux, but they didn't give a good descriptor on why it wasn't, in my opinion, which is...
Yeah, and it could still be Unix.
I don't know.
But they're basically making, and that's the other thing is they've even talked about, like, this is not something that you're going to just throw on your computer and start playing with, because no one's really made anything for it, and they're wanting developers to start making things for it. And
sounds like another product they worked on.
I know.
Which is probably going to get shuttered in a couple months.
I know, that's the other thing that I was thinking. No, well, they've been on it for 4 years, and it's open source, and all this other stuff is out there. So it's like, so I don't want to deal with this strictly because I expect it to die, and I don't want the operating system that my computer is running to just be dropped and not supported at all by the main company.
Yeah, and if that's your main system, then yeah, that's a big deal. But I might, if I still had like a burner laptop, well, I still have a lot of laptops that I could put it on, but if I had something that wasn't like my daily driver,
yeah,
and I needed it to be like low power or something, yeah, this could work. And that's the main reason why I got my Chromebook. Like when I got my Chromebook, I was also a developer still, and I solved that problem by RDPing into my computer at home.
Yeah.
And it worked fine, and the thing was great because it was low power. Would last a long time. And I could hit my computer at home hard with the code. So I really want to know what this microkernel is, though.
Apparently, it was invented back in like 1967.
Yeah, I'd believe that. Because operating systems have been around for a while.
Yeah. So microkernels trace their roots back to Danish computer pioneer, that dude, Mr. Hansen, and his tenure in Danish computer company Centrian, where he led software development efforts for the RC4000 computer.
So on that Verge article, that link that they put on there,
yeah, does it actually
goes
explain?
to an article. No, it just goes to an article they talked about in April, on August 15th, 2016.
I said that's been around for 4 years.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they talked about it.
Here you go. Double checking. Most it doesn't. I don't know.
I'm looking it up. Jump to kernel.
Because it was like it was talking about everyone uses Unix based, but most large scale efforts have ended in the Unix world.
So the Zycon name, the Zircon, is based off the mineral. So however that's said. The project describes it as both a microkernel and not a microkernel in different parts of its documentation.
Well, it's because microkernels, it was even talking about that most microkernel OSs are giant failures. Like, they just don't work. And that might be why Google's been working on this for so long, and they're trying to get there away from what a lot of other people have been using.
Says the code base for it was derived from Little Kernel, LK, a real-time kernel for embedded devices aimed for low resource consumption to be used on a wide variety of devices. Little Kernel was developed by Travis. I'm not even going to try to say that word, his last name, or their last name, I should say, who had also co-authored the new OS, one word, kernel, used by Haiku. And it's written mostly in C++, with some parts in assembly language. Which, I mean, that's fair. Which is it, though? Because they want it to be aimed at a lot of different devices. And if it's in assembly code, it's written for that specific system. Like that specific instruction set. It's like if you had Intel assembly code, like x86 assembly code, it's not going to run on ARM without translating it. And maybe there's something built into the kernel to allow that, but yeah, it is heavily inspired by Unix kernels, but differs greatly. For example, it does not support Unix-like... this is very technical, but I'm going to keep reading it. It does not support Unix-like signals, but incorporates event-driven programming and the observer pattern. Most system calls don't block the main thread. Resources are represented as objects rather than files, unlike traditional Unix systems. Yeah, because in Linux, everything's a file.
Yeah.
Which is really useful. So, I don't know. I like you were saying.
But this is kind of like with RISC architecture. It's, it is simple. This is the minimal viable thing. So it's simple OS. So this could become, if done properly, a very good thing. It also could become a giant pain in the butt. It also could either be super secure or a giant security flaw. Like, just period.
Yeah, and depending on who's working on it, I could probably see it being a giant security flaw.
Yeah, it depends on how fast they get it out and what they want to do.
On that too.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, there is a bunch of exploits released that I think have to deal with and maybe this is old news, but it made the rounds again recently. The TCP stack for a lot of IoT devices have a pretty major flaw in them.
Oh, I did hear vaguely something.
I don't know
that.
much what the flaw is, and I think it'd be kind of hard for someone to utilize it. But it is still kind of scary because they're like most of those devices, the chips are from people like companies that have gone under, or they just have no way of updating them.
Yes, and that's why there's companies that are trying to actually like keep pushing out updates or take over the update problem with them. But yeah, you're talking about Amnesia 33.
Yeah, that. And it's Amnesia because it's related to amnesia, like the actual symptom. Disease? Not disease. Whatever.
Mental disorder.
Mental disorder? Well,
Let's
it's a temporary thing. Usually.
It can be.
I don't remember why it's called. Like, it's related to that, though. Like, I don't know why they use it as a... memory corruption, that's why. That's just can be kind of a big deal. Not because memory corruption can lead you to getting bad data, but because you can make the device do stuff it's not supposed to, because normally that stuff's not there. So, yeah. So I can't really talk too much about this because I don't know a lot about it, but
still, keep your stuff updated. And
well, I think this is like, even if the company pushed out, like, let's say this was on a Wi-Fi connected. Okay, I'll say let's say it was on my Wi-Fi Amazon plug, or I'm assuming it's Wi-Fi. I have no idea what it is, but it only works with Amazon, so it's useless to me now. But let's say they had a chip in there that was like that.
Yeah.
They may not even be able to, like, because they can push out firmware updates all day long, but they may not even be able to push out the update to update that specific chip to fix this.
True.
Unless it was part of an SoC, and even then they may not. System on a chip is what SoC means.
So it only affects, the two flaws only affect low WPAN wireless devices.
WPAN?
Low WPAN. And then 4 flaws have been ranked as critical given the risk of RCE on certain devices. But we put the link so you guys can look at it. But yeah.
What kind of device is that? Google it.
Which one are you looking at?
The low pan thingy.
The low pan?
Yeah.
I moved away from
6 low pan, or whatever you called it. Right there.
Well, there you go. We got the 6 low pan. Acronym for IPv6 over low power wireless.
Oh.
That's what 6 low pan means.
I'm actually surprised they're using IP. Oh, I could probably see why they were doing that. Because they don't really have to mess with IP addressing too much that way. Because I think... I'm not going to say this because a lot of people get mad. Because I'll probably get it wrong, so never mind.
All right. But yeah, so it deals with all that fun stuff. And so whether it's old stuff or they can't make sure it's updated, definitely...
That was one of the dangers of IoT, though. Especially the early stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And especially if it deals a lot with cloud-based stuff, then if the company goes under, you got a brick. Or if they sell it...
They should have a brick.
Huh?
It should probably be a brick. Or even just updates. They still want to release new products, and they don't want to keep on updating that old hardware because it's actually way too complicated to update that old hardware.
Yeah, but what I mean is, like... I think this happened with an alarm clock. People bought alarm clocks and then they just don't work anymore because I think the company went under or they got sold. But what also happen a lot is like a parent company will buy another company. Like a company will get absorbed.
Yeah.
And usually those whatever services they had before just get shut off. So, meaning everything that you like investing into that huge ecosystem is now dead. And
yeah.
There was a big system that did that. Lowe's was sending them out a lot. What was that called? Like Lowe's was selling them.
I know. I forgot. But that's why there was all sorts of money returning and all that.
Yeah.
And actually there's been...
And to be fair to them, they did offer that. Like,
Yeah, not everybody does.
No, not everybody. A lot of people, most companies would just be like, sucks to
That
suck.
is the thing about investing in these. There's also smart speakers that have done stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they'll also offer discounts or things like that to do the upgrade. Sometimes they'll just like, oh, we'll just turn it off, and that's that.
Yeah.
This is like the super technical thing, because this affects Siemens and microchip technology. So they're in the articles. There are these two. Those are the two vendors, microchip technology and Siemens. And yeah, they go into exactly the chips that are affected, the details, and lots of ridiculous. Actually, it's not a whole lot of pages, luckily. But it is.
Is this like internet enabled stuff, or is it like does it impact Z-Wave or Zigbee or anything like that?
It affects. What was the one that I was looking at? It is affecting DNS, IPv6, IPv4, TCP, ICMP, LLMRN, MDNS. It looks like it's only the Wi-Fi.
So only Wi-Fi enabled stuff?
Yes.
Because I think, like I asked, because I think even Zigbee and Z-Wave, they still use that kind of stack.
Yeah.
It's just on their own. Because it's just a protocol. It's not anything specific, so they might use it on their network, on their mesh networks. That's why I was wondering. Should have looked into this more, but I didn't even think about bringing it up.
Ran into it. Just run right into it. Well, along with that, though, something I did look into, which I am extremely happy about. Google's also making me happy again.
So I don't know about this because they had the integration at one point with SmartThings.
Yeah.
And then they took it away, and I think it's taken them like 3 years to bring it back.
They broke integration with Keep and Assistant, and they took it 3 years to bring it back. And that was their own product.
Are you trying to defend them? Because that's not a good argument.
I'm saying there's a terrible reason and a terrible argument, but it's I'm not saying Google's fast at turning around things. Especially, they may have had some security flaws, I'll admit, but that they decided to patch up. Which means, give it a year, it'll break again.
Yeah, probably. But anyways, SmartThings now works with Nest products.
No.
What?
January. It'll start working with Nest products. SmartThings technology will be available on Google Nest products starting January 2021.
You know why they put this out, probably?
Because they're prepping people to be disappointed.
No, I was thinking because if they can't get it ready by then, or until January, they're going to miss the holiday rush, and people might not buy it if it doesn't work with SmartThings.
I admit, the Nest, what's it called? Smoke detectors, they're expensive. They're really expensive.
Yeah.
I like them a lot, though. I like them, like,
as long as you don't got the wired ones.
Yeah.
Because the wired ones apparently go off randomly.
I know. I bought a wired one. It went off after like 3 months, in the middle of the night. I don't even think it was 3 months, maybe been 2 months. Though we had friends that lasted like year longer. I took it in, battery, and they have good batteries. If you get good batteries, they last years.
Yeah. So the batteries thing, and even then, I think.
Then you can put them anywhere.
So the battery one, do they still have a connector?
To what?
Well, because why I'm asking this is that because a lot of the times those, like the wired ones, they're wired to so they don't take that much power from the battery.
But yeah, the battery's supposed to be a backup.
Yeah, the battery's a backup, and the other thing is that they have a signal wire basically where if one goes off, they all go off. And so I was wondering if maybe the battery versions might have something like that in there, but I could see them not.
They talk to each other, so if one goes off, they all do go off.
That's assuming you have them all
on the Wi-Fi, on the Wi-Fi.
No, I mean that's just assuming you replaced every single one of your smoke detectors with a Nest.
True.
Which, if you said they're expensive, that's a tall order for people.
It is. Just go to Costco and get the box package for $1,000.
Is that how much they are?
They're like $100 each.
And how many is that? 2? Oh, that would be like 5.
Yeah, that would be like 5.
I don't know. 100 is not that bad.
But that if you catch them on, okay, you can catch.
Are they smoke detector or are they also carbon monoxide?
Yes, and they're a night light.
The nightlight thing is interesting to me
is.
because it's battery powered.
I know. It does, like I said, the fact that the batteries...
Or is it smart and only turn on whenever it detects motion?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That explains it.
But still, it still lasts for years, and it's amazing it does that well. And honestly, if it integrate, because I really like that. I think they do really well. I like them. They're the better ones. I thought about getting into some of the others that actually would tie into smart things, but they're the ones I bought, and I think you can get them as cheap as $60 if you find the great deals. But you are like shopping, like you are like matching coupon. You're maximizing your coupons and your sales and everything.
Being a coupon clicker.
Oh yeah, you're
Clipper.
super. Yeah.
And clicker, I guess, these days.
Yeah, maybe you could get like 8 for your $50,000.
Which, by the way, clicking coupons, unrelated at all, but Amazon, and when you're in your cart,
Yeah.
every once in a while, if you're looking close enough, you can save $1 by just clicking a button.
Ah.
It's basically is like clip this coupon to save like $1 or $5 or whatever, and you just click it, and that's it.
Yeah. Oh, I've seen those. You don't even have to.
I forget to look a lot of the time.
It doesn't even need to be in your cart. You just go look at the item and you click on it.
No.
Like save 5%, save 10%, save $1.
Well, it's only for that item usually, isn't it?
Correct.
Oh, then why would you click it if it wasn't in your cart?
Because you want to see what the price is going to be before you put it in your cart.
Oh, I guess that's true. So as much as I was bagging this, I am considering getting this now that you talk about them.
Yeah.
And it does kind of suck that it took this long for them to get the integration set back up again.
Yes.
But it'd be what it be. And actually, when I first thought about this, I thought it was the thermostats. Because in my head, like, I completely forgot that the
smoke
detectors were a thing.
That's the only thing. Well, okay, I admit now that Google integrate all their other smart things, including their speakers,
Which I
and
still
stuff,
hate.
into the Nest ecosystem.
I hate that.
Yeah.
I would be okay with it if they changed the trigger word
to Nest.
Yeah, that'd be fine. It was like, hey, Nest, do this thing, instead of like, hey, thing with like 7 consonants in it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you didn't hear me? Let me try 2 or 3 more times.
But
if you can't tell, I don't like Google right now.
But you also can get your Nest devices to work with your Samsung TVs.
Why?
Because if you have a Nest doorbell.
Nest, got it.
Nest. Or if you have or you could integrate your Samsung TV or your Samsung devices into your Nest messaging. Because then you can chat with your family and friends.
Like in the house?
Yeah.
Like an intercom system?
Well, that or over the interwebs to your other friends and families.
Weird. Okay.
Because you can use like the Nest Hub 2 or whatever it's called. The advanced one has a camera in it. And it's basically just like all the other like smart devices that...
Do people really do that though?
Yeah, there's people that do. I know somebody who ended up buying their mother an older lady. So, they have kids. So there was to be the grandma bought the family a Facebook one, because the Facebook one is actually the simplest of all of them to use. But yes, it's the evil of Facebook.
Yeah.
But you get to decide which evil company whether you think Apple is evil, Facebook is evil, Google is evil. Pick your evil company. But Facebook is the one that has the simplest integration. They bought one for his parents, and they have one. And literally, the day starts, they both just turn it on. Rings, they acknowledge it, and they just leave it there. It's like having a window to your neighbor's house, and they just ignore it the entire day. But occasionally they'll like be doing things, and then like somebody will walk by like, what are you doing? They get to have a quick conversation, but it's more like it's like you living really, really close to your neighbors, and you both having your curtains open.
I disagree with this, but
yes, obviously, it's also like Facebook watching you, or Google, or Apple, or whatever.
that's not why at all. Like, I can't think of a reason why I'd want someone to just be able to drop in, because at least, like, having a window into your neighbor's house, like because they have their curtains open.
Yeah.
You can just ignore it, or you can just pretend that you don't see them.
You can do that too with this.
It's a little harder though because they have the sound. And sure, they might be able to have the sound turned down, but it's like, I don't know. I feel like you'd be able to tell if they looked over and then decided not to do anything. Whereas I don't know.
Okay, obviously this is a one-time thing, but this is also, early pandemic when this was also happening, and it's keeping families safe. But these, close families would do stuff like that.
I don't know. I've not really, I know talking, video chat is supposed to be, the future. And I thought it would be too. But unless it's work-related, I don't really want to video chat with someone.
Actually, I'll admit, when I play RPGs, it's kind of nice to have the video.
It is nice, but I'm also not going to actively, if I'm chatting with someone on the phone and not doing anything specific, just sitting there chatting,
yeah,
I probably don't want to see their face. Because I don't want to have to, because I like to just wander and not do any,
I understand.
And not, stare at them. And if they're on the screen, I feel like I have to at least participate somewhat in the video call.
I see.
In the video part of it. And I just...
It's not like walking next to somebody type of thing. It's like we're on this, we're having a conversation.
No.
And we're doing things together.
Nope. But, if we had those AR glasses, that might be different.
Ah, yes.
Because then it could, project them.
I could see that. Or even just because they can be next to you, or they can
have just a floating head.
Yeah, why not?
Disembodied head.
All you
not
need
creepy
to see,
at all.
You just need to look at their eyes, just their empty eyes.
Their empty eyes. Yeah, because it probably wouldn't be tracking the eyes very well, or at all. Yeah, integration. I am kind of annoyed that they put that out and then it's not even available right now, but that's neither here nor there.
I really want to talk about this, and I'm going to talk about this even though the show's gone on long.
Okay, what is this?
So have you ever taken...
Oh.
Yeah, have you ever taken a text and just scrubbed on it and things and blurred it out and posted that picture online or something like that?
No. Whenever I do that, I cover it with a block of color. I don't even blur it. It's just gone.
Oh, you don't scrub and blur?
No.
Okay.
Because I know that this stuff is able to be done. I don't think it was this accessible before.
Oh,
but
this is simple. Actually, that's the thing. It's not even. I think it's.
Scroll back down.
I don't. We'll get to that in a moment. So if you ever pixelated text to hide the password, or people who have, I want to say this was in Python. It's not even that complicated.
Yeah, it's Python.
It is Python. Okay, cool. And then yes, so it's super blurry. You can't even tell what it is. And then then there's recovered. So the original is the bottom one. But the recovered, it's not the greatest, but you do realize what it is saying, actually. And so she was looking at, the H doesn't look but you would actually think, hello.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised they're not doing some kind of, text matching on that, OCR.
Maybe that's the next step.
Optical. No, it's not OCR.
No, I said, oh.
Whatever. It takes images and translates them to text,
yeah.
Which is really good for notes and stuff, or if you're scanning in a book. But yeah, and so I'm surprised they're not doing something on that like that after to give you what the text is.
Well, it's because this is processing every block separately, so you would have to do that afterwards.
Yeah, but I don't know. Probably just a POC or whatever.
Yeah.
Because, people are probably still... When was this published?
This was published... Let's see, when did I see this? I know I just barely heard about it. So
just
I think
hit
it's
back.
Fairly
We can see
recent.
the commit history.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, they changed it yesterday.
4 days ago is when all this commit went in.
Go to... No, go back up. Insights. We'll try Insights.
Insights?
Yeah, on the top, in the middle. A little more. Yeah.
Ah.
Oh, it's not. Go to commits on the left. So, yeah, it's literally it. I think it showed
Last
up
Sunday.
it showed up on the 6th.
Yeah.
So yeah, that makes sense. Doesn't mean that they weren't working on it before. Well, they obviously were, but I don't know. What's the first commit say? If it says initial commit, then they literally worked on it within that. Just go back on, click on code.
Oh.
And then just click on that thing where it says update readme. And your mouse is right on the box. You just got to go left a little.
Oh, I see.
And then, wow, GitLab's way easier to navigate than GitHub is.
Yeah, I'm like,
shoot, man. This shouldn't be this hard. Maybe browse file. No, that's the same.
no,
page.
back to where we started. Haha. 8 commits. Let's go with that.
Oh, there we go.
4 days ago. Initial.
Okay, they've just been doing basically just updating the README the whole time. So they were probably working on this before, and it may have even been something that they've had for a while, and just never posted it in version control. But yeah, anyways, that part doesn't matter. I was just curious, but
Yeah.
have you tried it?
No.
I'd be interested how it actually
I haven't
performs.
haven't really like hunted around the internet to go like, oh, let's go see. Plus, like I said, I closed down my Facebook, so I'm like, I really don't see any of these images, and I don't care for the most part.
Oh, I've never seen it. Like, I haven't seen a blurred out image of text since ever.
My favorite was when I called out somebody. They got like a library card for whatever the main library.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, look what I got, and they blurred out the numbers.
I know who you're talking about too.
Yeah, and then I messaged him and I was like, so is this your library card number? He's like, what software did you use? I'm like, I scanned the barcode on your card that you didn't blur out. Oh.
So they actually blurred out the number, but not the barcode.
Yes.
Nice.
I know.
I mean, to be fair,
I would have expected him to have known that. I really would have.
well, I mean, I'm trying to put it into my perspective, but I wouldn't post something about that anyways. So,
I know. Well, I wouldn't.
like, if I did, it would be text based. It wouldn't be an image. Or if I did, and it was like, I got a library card to the library here, I'd probably show me in a picture in front of the library, not my library card.
Except for it's in DC.
So I probably wouldn't post about it at all.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of cool. They're like, hey, this is a cool
No, I
library.
agree. Like, it's cool, but that's just my thing.
It's like saying, I got my passport. Huzzah. Yay. You don't post your passport.
No, you do. And then you lose. Yeah.
And you lose your. It's like everyone who goes like, look at my new driver's license. You know, the thing that has your driver's license number, your address, your age.
Or they post their first credit card,
Yeah.
and they don't. They just show the numbers in full text.
Yeah.
Which, even if you don't have the security code or whatever, you can still get pretty far with.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so it's not very complicated. It is not.
Actually, click on the top folder. Oh, wait, never mind. Go back.
Fine.
Click on the .py file. It's the second to the bottom. It's .py.
80 lines.
Huh. And probably a good decent amount of them are logging too,
Yeah.
which don't do anything other than tell you what's going on.
Yeah.
Actually, half the lines are like that.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah.
Good logging's good because a lot of people don't log, and good luck trying to figure that out. This is actually it's structured pretty well for this. Is okay. I'm gonna bag on on Python, but usually Python programs don't look great. Their formatting is all over the place and everything, but this is structured really well. Like, it's probably something that I would do personally.
Yeah. But it's fun. So don't blur your images. Don't post personal information. Once it's online forever.
Yeah.
Just.
If you want to post something and you want to get rid of the thing, either cut it out completely or put some kind of solid, make sure it's solid. Can't just be opaque. It can't just be slightly opaque. It has to be solid.
Like a piece of wood over the numbers, and then take a picture of that.
I mean, that would probably be the surefirest way to get rid of it, but
That would absolutely be
Without
the
that-
surprised way to get rid of it.
or printing the picture and cutting it out.
There you go.
Without that, either crop it out completely or cover it with some solid block of a color. That's what I'm trying to say.
Just tell people you got it. It's cool enough.
Oh yeah, you can also just do that too, which I don't know. I don't really do social media anymore, so
Yeah.
that said, I probably if I were doing Reddit more, I probably would post something like that. Not an image, but
You should TikTok more. It's a lot more fun.
yeah, but then people have to see me.
No,
I guess they don't.
I'm
But
like you do. You obviously you got TikTok. You don't have to be on the TikToks.
you're right. I got a TikTok. I've opened it twice.
I know.
Both of them here.
I know. Both of them. I'm like, open it up. Open it up.
Yeah, you were like that. You were basically you had me at gunpoint, basically.
Yeah. Open it up. All right. With that,
Open the app.
we're gonna take off. So, any famous last words?
They're gone. I had some actually.
All right. My famous last words are, Anthony,
Mm-hmm.
open your TikTok.